Today, I'm not going to review any book. There is a reason for that. I'm just a few videos old in the BookTube community and I'm loving it. Hence, I thought doing a video which is popular or common in the BookTube world would give me a sense of belonging. I wish and hope that I'm true. So I decided to do a book haul video as I've bought a few books this year. I hardly bought any in the last 2 years. I don't know whether my list of books is small or big as per the BookTube standards. It doesn't matter, right? I am not even sure whether I have understood the term book haul correctly, so bear with me if I'm not doing it right. So before I move on to my first book haul video, I am Shalet Jimmy. I'm from India. I love books and I talk about them here. I am an avid crime fiction reader and a lover of classics, hence they predominantly constitute my read and to be read list. But I assure you, I have other genres too. Welcome to Shalet Jimmy's Storyworld. Out of the lists, I have read only a few. Some are yet to be read. But I promise you, I'll come with a detailed review of some of these books later. As you can see, there are several books on my bookshelves. And 2021 is also the year I discovered the joy of rereading books. Because of that, I could read only a few from my list. I was rereading some of the books on my bookshelves. Also, I would have shown you the books I bought, but as I shoot with a selfie camera, what you will get is a mirror image. So I'll show the books here and the names underneath. I believe it's perfectly fine with you. Though I have reviewed crime fiction mostly on my BookTube, unlike it, my book haul is a mix of genres. I usually buy books which I feel like reading. What I'm trying to say is when it comes to reading, my opinion matters. For me, reading and writing is a passion that should be enjoyed and not forced upon. Right. I also want to tell you that I've decided to make this book haul video as a 2-part series because I really don't know how to accommodate 25 books in a video. So, coming back to the list, the first one is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. In the story, there is a groom and a bride. The groom, a famous television actor, and the bride, a celebrity editor, decides to tie the knot on a deserted island on the Irish coast. The island doesn't seem like a perfect locale for a wedding because of its brooding look. The wedding is just round the corner and the families and the friends of both the parties, both the bride and the groom, start arriving. And we get introduced to each character and how they are related to the bride and the groom. And finally, when the marriage happens, when the wedding happens, someone gets murdered. So, there are 2 questions. Who gets murdered and who is the murderer? The next 2 books are written by the same author, Ruskin Bond. The first one is Lone Fox Dancing, which is his autobiography, and the other one is A Murder in Mussoorie and Other Tales. To talk about his book, I pledge to be a Bond girl always. Anywhere, anytime, I can read him. I was on a hiatus from reading and writing for about 2 years. His books rekindled my passion for writing and reading a lot. His writings touches my heart. Whenever you read Ruskin Bond, I am telling you, you are going to fall in love with anything and everything around you. You're going to fall in love with the nature. His books exude a kind of positive vibe. I love this book and you have to read it. I recommend it. And the second one is, as I said, A Murder in Mussoorie and Other Tales. Just like most of his books, it is a collection of short stories, and the first story is about a real incident where a British woman was murdered in a little sleepy town of Mussoorie. The British had not left the country then. The murder is yet to be solved, but years ago, it gave ample content for someone to come up with her first novel, The Mysterious Affair at Styles, written by none other than Agatha Christie. The next book is The Many That I Am, Writings from Nagaland, edited by Anungla Zoe Longkumer. I'm sure I have not pronounced the name correctly. I'm sorry for that. This is such a marvelous book. It is a remarkable collection of short stories, poems, first-person narratives that showcases the Naga women's literary and creative expressions. It is the voice of Naga women that could be heard all through this wonderful book. I loved it. I recommend it. I was always in love with the 7 sister states of northeastern India, and this book made me fall in love with them again. Do you know which is the official language of Nagaland? It's Indian English. This is definitely going to be on my read again list. I love it and I'm going to review it for you. The next book is Crooked House by Agatha Christie. In this book, there is no Hercule Poirot, Miss Marple or Tommy Tuppence. Christie's well-known detectives. Still, this is one of her finest books. Charles Hayward fell in love with Sophia Leonidas when they were serving in the army. He wanted to marry her, but all plans went kaput when her grandfather, a wealthy Greek businessman, died of poisoning. Theirs was a joint family and they were living in a mansion which they called Crooked House. Every member in the household was under suspicion, including Sophia. Charles gets involved in the investigation as his father was a high-ranking official in the police department. This is one of Christie's twisted tales. As usual, she had mesmerized the reader with an unexpected climax. This book is one of her favorites too. The next book is Usain Bolt, Faster Than Lightning, an autobiography. So, I've been a journalist for many years and recently I forayed into sports journalism. And within a few months, I realized that I enjoy track and field events, especially sprinting, than cricket, football or tennis. I love to watch Usain Bolt dashing across the track like a flash of lightning. It's a source of inspiration and I wanted to know more about him. I'm yet to read this book. The 7th book in the list is Mom, Me and Mom by Maya Angelou. Maya. I love her. I adore her. She is my role model and I'll tell you why. This is my first book. Still, I consider myself as an expert on Maya Angelou, for I have watched most of her interviews. I admire her, I respect her just for the fact that even after going through a lot of hardships, getting raped at the age of 7, racism, traumatic childhood, she had nothing to offer to the world but love. This book is about her mother, Vivian Baxter. If Maya was gentle, Vivian was tough. But you can't stop admiring both the ladies. Maya's views were influenced by Vivian. Maya would not have been Maya without Vivian. I'm definitely going to come with a detailed review of this book. I have so much to share with you. The next 2 books are my childhood favorites. Nancy Drew. The book's name is Buried Secrets, Case File 10, and the second book is The Mystery of Green Ghost from Alfred Hitchcock's The 3 Investigators series. So in Buried Secrets, Nancy Drew takes up a 30-year-old murder case that happened at her place, River Heights. She was visiting a mall along with her cousin Bess and George when she came across somebody who was trying to kill a political candidate, Todd Harrington. Not only did she rescue Harrington, but also takes up a challenge posed by a journalist to unravel the secret behind the murder case of John Harrington, who was the mayor of River Heights and also Todd's father. And the mystery tightens when strange things started happening when she investigates the case. And the second book is The Mystery of Green Ghost, where the three investigators, Bob Andrews, Pete Crenshaw and Jupiter Johns, investigate a mansion which is haunted by a green ghost. It scares the wit out of them when they encounter the ghost for real in the mansion. The 10th and the last book in this part is Moment of Truth by Lisa Scottoline. It's a legal thriller. It's a story about an attorney called Jack Newland who frames himself for a murder. It gets a bit uncanny when he frames himself for his wife's murder when he knows who killed her. To seal his fate, he hires an inexperienced lawyer called Mary Denunzio. Let's see what happens. So, that's all for today. I'll soon come up with my part 2. If you have read any of these books, please do comment and just tell me how do you feel about these books. If you really liked this video, please do share, subscribe, comment and support. God bless.